Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Lebanon Utility Service Board for Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Let the record reflect that all board members are present tonight and the meeting was properly advertised. There was also a short working session prior to this meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
All right, we'd like to offer public comment before and or at the beginning and the end of each meeting. So go ahead and offer that now. I don't see any members of the public here tonight. So we will offer again at the end. First item tonight's the approval of our minutes from the April 3rd, 2024 meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those minutes, and if so, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion we approve the minutes for April the 3rd, 2024.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ann to approve the minutes from the April 3rd, 2024 meeting. Any additional questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we will move to the next action item, which is the 120 water survey, and our water wastewater manager, Ryan Oettinger, will address this tonight. Hey, Ryan.
Good afternoon. This is a request for a survey through 120 Water to a number of residents that I touched on this briefly at our last meeting for the new revised lead and copper rule. There's some residents whose pipe material on the private side, so it'd be on the property owner side of the meter. We just don't have the information that we need on that. And so this survey would go out to the property owner and would have a mail-in option with a self-addressed stamped envelope with that, or a QR code, and a website. So there's a number of ways that they can participate. This is a do not exceed based on the maximum amount of unknowns that we have. But in all likelihood, this number will it will not go up, but it will likely go down based on us doing some data research and kind of learning more about the property and learning the age and the materials that were used to build the water line, service line at that time. So we're going to try to narrow that down as much as we can before we need these mailers to go out. If this is approved and once we move forward, we'll have a proof or an example that I can bring into a board meeting, and then we'll also share at a city council meeting, just so property owners who receive these will understand the legitimacy of the survey, and I can kind of walk through what the mailing looks like, the pertinent phone numbers or information that if they had any questions that they could reach out and we would be able to help them or walk them through this process. So my request would be for a do not exceed for 120 water in the amount of $17,590.77.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Questions for Ryan on this topic?
I want to make sure I understand. So before the survey actually goes out, the format of the survey will be vetted both by the utilities and the city?
Well, not vetted by the city, but I will present a proof or an example at the city council meeting. So anyone watching that meeting or following it or in attendance would know what to look for and maybe help recognize when they get this in the mail that it is legitimate and this is what we're asking, as opposed to some mail that they get that they might be suspicious of or not want to participate in. Just to try to get the more information I feel like we can get out there, the higher chances of participation in this survey will be.
Right. Any other comments, questions on 120 water survey?
Sorry to go back. The board will have the opportunity in a working session to see it before it goes out. And if there's any additional information or tweaks or something that we have possibly omitted that the board would like to see on there, we can add that. It just, city council will just be an information only presentation.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the invoice for the 120 water for homeowner survey for our lead line inventory in the amount not to exceed $17,590.77.
Second. Motion made by Bill, seconded by Tim, to approve the invoice from 120 Water for the homeowner surveys for lead line inventory, amount not to exceed $17,590.77. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, next item tonight is Resolution 2024-04. It's an action item, and our legal counsel, Jeff Jacob, will be reading the resolution.
Thank you. Board, as you're aware, we've discussed in executive session and several working sessions, the Reese Park project has a couple of remaining parcels that have not been acquired through the land acquisition team. And therefore, at this time, it's my recommendation that we move forward with a resolution to acquire the parcels through condemnation, through eminent domain. And just so from a record standpoint, so we're clear, the utility has condemnation authority. It has been the practice of this board and the city council to go through the city council for those purposes. And so we have a resolution which reflects our typical process of requesting the delegation of condemnation authority from the city council to the utility board. So I've prepared a draft resolution 2024-04 for the utility board's consideration. We'd be happy to read it. Whereas the City of Lebanon, Indiana owns and operates by and through the Lebanon Utility Service Board, a municipally owned utility known as Lebanon Utilities, for the purpose of providing safe, reliable, and efficient wastewater service in and around the city. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Lebanon is vested by the State of Indiana with the power of eminent domain. Whereas the City of Lebanon is authorized by Indiana Code 815217 and Indiana Code 3224-1 et sec to exercise its power of eminent domain for the purpose of acquiring private property necessary for the operation of a municipally owned utility. Whereas the Utility Service Board needs to acquire temporary and permanent easement rights on private property for the purposes of expanding and improving its wastewater system, generally along the east side of Lebanon Street and along Sunnybrook Lane within City of Lebanon, Boone County, Indiana. Whereas the details of the necessary easement rights are detailed in the attached exhibits. Whereas in the interest of efficiency in the operation of government and the utility itself to aid the acquisition of the needed property interests, it is necessary that the Lebanon Utility Service Board be authorized to exercise the City of Lebanon's power of eminent domain for the purposes of improving and expanding the wastewater system as set forth above. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Lebanon Utility Service Board that it is recommended by the Lebanon Utility Service Board that the Common Council City of Lebanon pass a resolution delegating its authority to exercise the power of eminent domain to the Lebanon Utility Service Board for the purpose of allowing the utility to acquire property interests through the exercise of eminent domain if needed and as necessary in order to expand and improve the wastewater system, subject to Common Council and the City of Lebanon's right to withdraw the said delegation of authority at any time by way of a properly adopted resolution adopted by the City of Lebanon Utility Service Board this point day of April 24.
Right, thanks, Jeff. Questions, comments regarding this resolution for council?
This topic has been a subject of an executive session and I think 3 working sessions. And I am opposed to eminent domain unless it's a last resort. And I've become convinced it's a last resort. And having said that, I am pleased that our elected officials have the last say on this.
Right, anything else? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Resolution 2024-04, a resolution requesting the delegation of eminent domain powers from the Common Council of the Lebanon City Council related to the Reese Park Lift Station project.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Bill to approve resolution 2024-04. Are there any other questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mr. Jacob, I believe, stays on here for the next item, which is the Boone REMC Lebanon Utility Joint Petition to modify service area boundaries.
Thank you, Board. This is a agreement between, or a petition between Boone REMC and Lebanon Utility. Also been the subject of an executive, or discussed in an executive session and working session. We have come to terms with Boone REMC regarding the service of a split parcel in the Lebanon Business Park. And this joint petition to the IURC sets out that Boone REMC and Lebanon Utilities will be trading property. The one is the Prairie Heights Lift Station, which is in our RMC territory that we currently serve, and then property north owned by Witham to move into our territory. And then we would give up a part of a parcel in the Lebanon Business Park. This, once approved by both parties, would then be filed with the, or would go to the Board of Works for approval next week. And I trust the Utility Board's representative will represent that well next week. Once approved, it would then go to the IURC for consideration by the IURC and the OUCC. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, questions, comments? Now I'd entertain a motion on this item.
I move to approve the Boone REMC Lebanon Utilities Joint Petition to modify service area boundaries, authorizing general manager to sign on behalf of the Utility Service Board, and recommend that the City of Lebanon Board of Works approve the petition for filing with the IURC.
Second. Motion made by Bill, seconded by Tim, to approve the Boone REMC Lebanon Utilities Joint Petition to modify service area boundaries with our general manager signing on behalf of the Utility Board, and recommendation that the City of Lebanon Board of Works approve this petition for filing with the IURC. Any additional questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Looks like that have another item here, and that's the Wabash Valley Lebanon Utilities Wheeling Agreement.
Thank you, Board. Some time ago, we were approached by Boone REMC and Wabash Valley Power Association as our friends at Lilly have started construction on their site. It does not appear as though Boone REMC is going to be able to meet the timing of providing 6 megawatts of power to their two construction sites. Accordingly, Wabash Valley asked us to step in and facilitate moving power from Wabash Valley through our system to the Lilly site. This wheeling agreement is reflective of those negotiations and accommodation to get power to the Lilly site. In essence, it is an agreement that would begin May 1st and run through December 31st of 2025, where power would, from Wabash Valley, move through our system. In essence, they're renting our system for a short period of time to move power through. So in theory, other than some charges through, some collateral charges through to IMPA, we're not actually stepping into increasing our power purchase from IMPA. An additional but important element of the agreement is that Wabash Valley is going to pay for upgrades to our system in order to accommodate the necessary timing and power through the system to the Lilly sites. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Jeff on the Wabash Valley Lebanon Utility Wheeling Agreement? Not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the wheeling agreement with Wabash Valley Power Association.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Ann to approve the wheeling agreement with Wabash Valley Power. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We will move to the approval of our claims, payroll, and transfers. Everyone had a chance to review those items, and if so, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I move to claims payroll transfers dated April the 17th, 2024 in the amount of $483,080.55 for claims and payroll and $2,697,154.48 for transfers.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ann to approve the claims, payrolls, and transfers dated April 17th, 2024. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next item is any other business tonight. Anyone from the board have other business they would like to discuss? Ed, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, we'll offer public comment again. I don't see anyone here from the public with comments tonight. Ed, any comments that you're aware of through your desk?
No, sir.
Okay, looks like we're scheduled for May 8th, 5 p.m. for our next meeting. And if there's nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Bill to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.